Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About with Biff Lucky and Mr. Fun, the podcast where we will talk about everything. We will talk about anything. Quite frankly, we are going to talk about it all after a very, very busy weekend for the three of us. Lots of activities, beautiful weather on a Sunday. It's Sunday night right now. Saw you guys, which was always great to see you guys. I was actually I ventured onto the mainland, as they might say around here, to the Western Shore. On Friday, where we had a great golf tournament. Finished in second place, which is an interesting dynamic. One, we had a chance to win at least, but we finished in second place on a card off, which means they compared the hardest hole, and we didn't play the best on the hardest hole. But had April B, super fan yesterday, who ran in the race, the Dewey Goes Pink 5K, which is a fundraiser, breast cancer fundraiser in Dewey Beach, Delaware, yesterday. She finished in fourth, so she was upset. You get a medal, I guess, if you're in the top three, kind of like the Olympics for second, third. But how disappointed can you be finishing fourth, or when do you stop caring about where you finish? Maybe that's a better way of putting it.
Well, the fact that if they give something away for first, second, and third, like gold,
right.
silver, bronze,
right?
You fourth place is like the booby prize. Like, you get nothing, even though you're probably, close to being one of the best.
Right.
So I don't know. That's what I would say. But
were the first three finishers from Ethiopia or something?
Yeah, that's right. There were some ringers that came in. There was there was a lot of food and drink. So it was people that were really not Ethiopian that were there in Dewey Beach, as it was sponsored by the Starboard and other things. But I guess the point on the finishing is, there's the famous Ricky Bobby line, which is, if you ain't first, you're last. I think that's the line. Like, does anything past first place really count? I think it does, personally, but it's just it's an interesting thing. It's like, would she have been upset if she finished 10th? I don't know.
Are you trying to feel better? Are you trying to feel better about finishing second in golf? Is that the point of this conversation?
No. We won money, so okay. I have definitely been the bridesmaid in the last two tournaments I played in.
A very watered down field, though, I must add. I play on a team that's typically we have won this tournament before, and my team got watered down. I got the benefit of playing with Scotty of Scotty's Vodka.
Scotty's Vodka.
Which we would do one of those shots pretty much every other hole. So we won the award for the most fun. Yeah, but my team got disassembled. So we're gonna try to put our team back together next year and challenge.
So it reminds me, there's this little bottle I'm holding up, which are the little like airplane size bottles, right? Just for everybody's edification. Is that Ocean's Calling, which was not this weekend, it was last weekend. Lady friend Jen snuck in 14 of these in her bra into Ocean's Calling.
Does she have a large bra?
I didn't check.
You didn't check?
It was very, very impressive that she got these in, because you have to go through metal detectors.
Wow, 14.
Well, and there's a reason for it too. I would think that the drinks are ungodly expensive, and Country's Calling was this weekend with all the country bands. Like a margarita is a beer is $17. Now they're bigger beers. I will grant you that. A margarita is $19, but if you get two shots, it's $30 for a margarita. Yeah. Which is, and it's not a very large margarita. You're like, wow, they're really they're not shy on their pricing there at the concerts. But it was nice. It's beautiful. I'm not sure there's a better venue to see a concert anywhere, and particularly this part of the world, where you're on the beach and the weather like it was perfect. So,
how many clowns do you think she'd get into the circus?
How many
like
clowns?
Like the clown?
Yeah, like a clown car. Yeah, clown bra. It's like a clown bra.
April B, I'm happy that she's safe, because I heard at that race somebody was shot with a starter pistol, and then another guy was beaten by a relay race baton. They said it was race related.
Jeez, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So, and whoever's got their phone on, you can turn the ringer off now.
Very popular. Very popular tonight.
Yeah, very, very popular. So good. So again, we are not drinking Scotty's vodka, but we are representing it again. Look, he's got it on his visor. He's got the bottle in his hand. I am drinking white wine, as I would.
Show the glass you're drinking your white wine out. It's
I
one of
drink
the.
it. It's a it's fruity. It
Oh,
represents
come
all the
on.
great flavors. Look, it's nice. It's crystal. Yeah, you hear
Very
that?
nice.
See, look at that.
I have so many jokes, but I can't. Right?
Oh, you'll get to it. So one of the bands yesterday was pointed out that the lead singer wore white jeans.
Right.
And I was like, hey, everybody's got white jeans on. Like I'm the white jean police.
Well,
like, I really.
Biff showed up to the golf tournament. And he knew he was going to be around all of his friends. He had black pants on.
I did.
Oh, I did see his black pants. I did see that.
Yeah, see, very stylish. If you're not going to play good, might as well. If you're going to finish in second, you might as well look good.
Yeah.
That's my motto. So JK is in San Jose, California. Our Western correspondent, Salt Lake City, and Salem, Oregon. What is Salem, Oregon known for, Mr. Fun? I say that to you.
The place they didn't have the witch trials.
Nope. What else is it? What is it in the state of Oregon?
I don't know. Give me a clue.
It's the capital of Oregon. It's Salem, Oregon. See?
Come on. I thought it was something like historic or something.
So, okay, well, here's a geography question for you. Which is the only state that doesn't have a straight line in its border?
California.
Hawaii.
Yep. Mr. Fun got it right out of the gate. What did you say, Lucky? It was
California.
California. Yeah.
Hey, it's geography. How many Portuguese speakers are there in the world?
How many Portuguese speakers are there in the world?
Yeah.
I don't know.
More than a Brazilian?
Is that a play on Brazilian?
Brazilian.
That's good. That's good. Do you have any other jokes to start us off, Mr. Fun? You've come out of the gate with two.
I have a story.
Okay.
So we were trying to come up with topics for this podcast, and I decided I would throw out a provocative question, and we would test it out. So I asked this provocative question. I said, the world is coming to an end in 24 hours. What would you do? So Lucky said, I would screw anything that moves. And I looked over at Biff and said, why aren't you answering? And Biff said, I'm trying not to move.
It's very good. Very good. I shared with Mr. Fun, Lucky, I don't remember if I told you that I was listening to another podcast, and I heard one of the funnier jokes I've heard in a long time was like, what's the line, Mr. Fun? It's, when I was a kid, trans fats were bad.
Yeah, just leave it like that.
That's pretty good. A great line. It was a very good line. But good. Lucky, what is going on in the world?
What is going on in the world? So, Mr. Fun's best friend, P-Diddy, is got sentenced this week.
Okay.
Which is interesting. So that's been a pretty, highly watched trial. So he did get acquitted on two of the more serious charges, sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, which I always thought they were trumped up. But he got 2 counts of transporting individuals to engage in prostitution. Which
that's a crime?
I guess, yeah. I guess that's like the pimp, the pimping part of it. But he's going to go to jail for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think he got a raw deal, or was it the just sentence?
So I haven't followed this very closely, but I heard somebody say this is sort of like the Al Capone thing, where he did bad stuff and they found something that they could send him to jail for. I don't know if that's accurate, but what do you think, Biff?
I think that's true. I think that's, and to a certain extent, I think they do that with a lot of people, right? There's a more serious or egregious crime that people feel that somebody's committed, and they've done that. Yeah, as you said, was tax evasion, right, for Al Capone?
Yeah.
It seemed like they were throwing the book at him, and this is the only one where they could reasonably had proof. I guess that's what happened. Right.
Well, you have to throw the book because, he lawyers up like nobody's business. I don't know how much he spent, but he probably had the best of the best, and a whole team of them, of lawyers,
Well, he was a billionaire, I thought. But you're right. He had his producing and music career and the vodka, right? Ciroc Vodka, I think, was his vodka company. I was trying to think, remembering his real name. Do you remember what his real name was?
Sean Combs.
Combs, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
and he was Puff Daddy, right?
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
And
Puffy.
then why did he change it to P-Diddy?
He was like rebranding himself, and like at the time, I think that's what he was doing, and he landed. I think his Puffy name was
Right.
when he was a little bit younger, and then this
Okay.
P Diddy thing was like a new thing. Like he was rebranding himself as a more mature rap guy. I guess I don't know.
It's almost like if you were a really funny guy and your nickname you didn't like in college and you rebranded yourself
Yeah.
to Mr. Fun.
It's not at all like that.
Well,
It's not at all like that.
All right. Okay. So he's going away for 4 years. What advice are you giving him in jail? Like, what would you say, Mr. Fun?
Pack the baby oil. Pack the baby
Okay.
oil.
Don't drop the soap.
I'd say leave the baby oil at home.
Leave the
would be
baby oil at home.
I think that would be the advice.
Yeah,
that
sorry.
we could get.
You think he's a target? Like, do you think people in prison are like, I'm going to get that guy, or are they giving him like, king's treatment kind of thing?
There's not a chance he's going to someplace like Rikers Island. He is going to be in Club Fed, right? He's going to be
I think so.
some I don't want to say resort like, but definitely not that not the not Attica. What is that? Attica, right? That was a place in New York.
Yeah.
Or Alcatraz or anything like that. So I think he'll be
He's
fine.
not in custody, right?
I think he is.
Like,
yeah, they
so,
denied him bail.
So does he get like time served and maybe get off sooner? Yeah.
Probably.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The other big news was, and some of us are fans of this, some of us are not, but Ledo's Pizza, which is was started in Maryland in PG County, 75 years old. So big discussion came about where does Ledo's fall with the again, they now carry this Maryland style pizza branding. But I'm sorry, they turned 70. Did I say 75? 70 years old. 1955 they were founded, and but so I don't know. Like, you guys are fans or not, Mr. Fun? I know.
Yeah, you know what? So I never would admit to eating those little squares and thinking that was real pizza. But over the 30 or 40 years that I've been here, I've grown to really like it. Is that Maryland style?
That's
the little squares.
That's what they and the flavoring too, like the cheese they use, the buttery crust, the sweet sauce, etc., and the sauce.
Yeah, I'm not going to put it in the same category. I still think there's New York style pizza, and I guess Maryland style pizza, and I prefer New York style pizza. But when I'm in the mood, I can eat some Ledos.
Yeah, I think the difference though for me though is and we had some and we were together on Friday night and there were a bunch of Ledo's pizzas that were ordered and I ate some and they're tasty. I'm not going to suggest they're not tasty. They are just it's different.
Yeah.
And for me personally, given the choice of two pizzerias, I'm not ordering Ledo's as my first go-to. I'm going to go to one that's a more traditional, whatever you want to call it. You want to call it New York style or someplace that has again, what I would consider a more traditional style, or I can get it crispy. Or one thing about Ledo's I don't like, you can't get it crispy. It's just hard. It's a pan.
Yeah.
They cook it in a pan. So I think
all right. Well, these are the styles. You tell me like which one you guys like the best. So of course the New York style, which is like big, thin. You can fold the slices. It's chewy, but it's not crisp.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what Mr. Fun, I think you're a fan of. The Chicago deep dish, which is everyone knows that really thick buttery crust.
Can I interrupt? I don't like it at all.
You don't like New York style?
I'm not a fan of Chicago, or if you mentioned Detroit, I would never order either.
Okay,
I've tried.
Yeah, so I will say I really like Detroit.
Okay.
And there's a place in Rehoboth Beach. I'll shout out to Ava's. Is that they cook a Detroit pizza and they make it very crispy on the bottoms, and they are a square pizza, so you've got 4 pieces, so you've got corners for every slice, and it's unlike Chicago, which is softer, right? It's not as crispy for sure, and a lot of times has the sauce on the top. If I've in the Chicago that I've had before, this Detroit style is very good. It's almost been midway between, I guess. Which one's the thick Italian? Is it Sicilian?
Sicilian.
Right. It's to me it's closer to a Sicilian that's cooked really well done. And I really like Detroit style, but I can see
Is it sweet? Because I had really sweet, like almost cinnamon flavored. Like it had Yeah.
I think that
Yeah,
depends
I
on
don't
what it
know.
is.
The ones I have a more traditional sauce, so I can't say that. So
Well, there's also the Chicago tavern style and the St. Louis style, which are
right,
both very thin and crispy, and they're actually cut into squares as well. So it's funny, like those two are more like the Maryland style, although the Ledo's is not crispy. But the pizza that everyone is like enamored with now is the New Haven a pizza, which is the
right, yeah.
thin coal fire. That's the big Dave Portnoy. Those are his famous ones. But I didn't even know there's a California style thin crust with all the weird toppings like barbecue
Well, that's like
chicken.
California Pizza Kitchen, right?
Yep.
They did that, which is founded by people that went to James Madison University, so they went to California. But I do like pub style, or however you decide it, or you described it, bar
Yep.
style. There's a place in called Kinchley's, which is in oh my gosh, near Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. It's a really thin, crispy pizza, and I like it. You can eat the whole pizza yourself. I mean, it's that thin. I think that's a really great style.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Mr. Fun, there's a New York style I hadn't heard of. It's called Grandma Pizza, rectangular, thinner than Sicilian, pan baked with olive oil and simple toppings. Have you had that?
No, I haven't
Yeah.
had it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So anyway, but happy birthday to Ledo's Pizza. The other thing, big one is a couple of us were at the Terps game this weekend, and they went into the game 4-0 off a big win on the road against Wisconsin a couple of weeks ago. They had a bye week. They were all set up. This they sold a lot of tickets. The stadium was almost sold out, almost full, but they had a 20-point lead in the midway through the third quarter and ended up losing. So, pretty tough loss for Maryland fans. Everyone's calling for Loxley's head. He's 0-10 on games out of a bye week, and so they're calling for his head again. We got Nebraska coming up, who's another good team. So I don't know. What's your guys' feeling about Maryland? Are they going up, or are they the same old Maryland football that we've known to grew to love and know? What do you think? What do you guys think?
So I regret telling everybody, at the tailgate that we had with a few beers in me, I was saying, gosh, I know what's going to happen today. This is the story of being a Terp fan. We have all our hopes up, and this is the game that we're going to come back to earth. Now, I think losing by 4, the way that we lost was devastating, but it wasn't a blowout. I think they're a pretty good team. We'll see as the season goes on. I'm talking about actually both teams. I think both teams are pretty good, but yeah, I mean, we were predicted at the beginning of the season. Some people were saying we could win as few as 3 or 4 games. So I'm still happy with the team, but that was a devastating loss. It was just,
Yeah.
yeah, so emotionally draining because you just saw it. What do you do when your team is slowly they're chipping away at the lead, and that they can't get anything going on offense. Washington has made adjustments. Here's my critique, and I'm no coach, but like it just was apparent. I saw the quarterback started to run the ball better. Started to I haven't rewatched the game. I can't recall him rolling out as much in the first half. Maybe he was, but the point is, it's obvious they made adjustments and we made none.
Yeah.
We made none.
Well, one of the things going into this game this weekend was we have, everybody's looking ahead to the schedule. And, so we play Nebraska next week and UCLA after that at New UCLA. And UCLA has had all this turmoil, fired coaches, players leaving or whatever. And they end up upsetting Penn State, which is crazy.
Killed him. Penn State was like a 24-point favorite.
Yeah.
And
Quarterback play. Do you know it all? Because that's that guy who went to Tennessee getting paid a huge amount of NIL money, then in my opinion, tried to hold Tennessee hostage by saying, if you want me to come back my sophomore year, I want even more money, and became a free agent and went to UCLA. So I wonder if he's playing well now.
They're not a good team. So I think it's a sign that there's trouble in River City and Happy Valley State College. I think James Franklin, that coach, is definitely. I would not be surprised if he gets fired in the next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they have the boosters really booed them in a sense that they probably, they're such a big football program. Maybe they don't even perform as much as their boosters think they should.
Well, wait, they were
That
ranked number 2, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they
they
have
were number 3 and
right.
Oh, yeah.
lost to Oregon, but then they were ranked 7 and just lost to an unranked UCLA. That's their
Yeah.
problem. So, look, they're about to put $400 or $500 million into their stadium in Happy Valley. They need happy boosters. I think that's what it would come down to. Coming back to your point on Maryland, I think the problem with Maryland is, and look, I wasn't at the game, so I will, full disclosure. But I watched it. I was watching it on TV. The problem with Maryland is that it's the same recipe every year. He picks these 3 relative cupcakes to get to the schedule to 3-0. So he almost his performance guarantees are based on just getting over 500, and the school keeps letting him get away with getting 3 or 4 of those wins against relative nobodies. And it's frustrating because you just can't seem to really measure him against what we all know is the truth.
Mhm.
Because of
Here's
his
yeah.
record in the Big Ten, forgive me, Mr. Fun, his
No,
record in
no.
the Big Ten is less than 30%, right? Or 30%. It's around 33 and 10 wins. He loses 70% of the time against Big Ten teams. That's who we should be measured against.
I
I saw some statistic on about the teams that they have beaten,
Yeah.
and only 1 or 2 of them of all those wins he's had over
Right.
the last actually year are had over 500 records at the
Yeah.
end of the season. So
I'm gonna agree with you guys. At the same time, if he wins, if we win that game and we win the next game or whatever, I was starting to convince myself that what a perfect formula for success. You have a freshman quarterback. Your defensive stars are freshmen. What do we do? We play really tough opponents, and we go into week 4 or week 5, 2-3, or something like that. I was actually convincing myself that warming up to the bigger teams might be a formula for success for a young team, but maybe not. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
I don't. There's no arguing that point. I think that if they won yesterday, it's a completely different discussion, right?
Yeah.
They're 2-0 in the Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
That's what it would be. The problem is that they had a Washington team that traveled across the country,
Yep.
and they had the lead by was it 13 or 20 to nothing, Maryland?
they were
20
20 to nothing
20 to
midway through
nothing,
the
right?
third. Yep.
Yeah, at 20 to nothing, and they lose the game 24-20. It just feels like it's pressure, it's poor coaching, it's something, and you can only look to the coach because he's 0-10 out of the bye in 10 years. That's crazy.
What was
Yeah.
interesting is that one series where you just got the feeling it might have been 20-10. The momentum had changed, and it was a 3 and out, and the plays were, um, we couldn't run the ball. So it was 3 quick passes. If I can't, I don't know if one of them was complete, but the clock was stopped. It was just a bad possession, and it was a momentum killer, I think. You can't blame it on one possession, but that was a bad possession. I'm gonna chalk this game up. I'm gonna title it a turtle disaster.
Yeah.
It was a turtle disaster.
Good one.
That's good. That's
Good
good.
one.
That's good. What else, man? What else? Like, let's shift on to some some more
Pivot
positive
to
things.
some technology. So I got I continue every week. We all get this unless you turn it off on your phone, you've used your phone 5 hours and 17 minutes a day.
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit. But so I saw this on social media, and there was a lot of different discussion points about it. But what would happen if the world never had cell phones? Like, where would we?
Cell phones or smartphones?
Smartphones, call it smartphones.
Okay.
Yeah, smartphones, which is again what takes up everybody's times. But time. But if it would never, smartphones were never invented, do you think we would be better or worse than we are today?
Whew. It's a you'd almost have to do a pros and cons list. You have among with each of us, right? The pros are things thinking about a smartphone specifically. You can get obviously real time information that's important, whatever that might be in your life,
Yep.
right? It could be stocks, it could be it could be the weather. Frankly, it's linking the traffic up right to your phone. So those are pros. The cons are the time wasters, right?
Yeah.
Which is the thing that you're talking about, Lucky, that how much time it takes. So on balance, is it good or bad? I think it's better, I would say, just because of some efficiencies you get out of it that you don't have to be sitting at your desk. I was thinking as you say that, they never told you how long you were sitting in front of your computer, right?
Right.
But it's in some respects, you've just taken your computer activities and put them on your phone. So I'm not sure it's the worst thing in the world.
Well, the computer is a lot of times a stationary device. Versus
Right.
the phone you carry around with you. You're sitting on the
Right.
front of the bathroom. You're
Right.
sitting on the
Right.
sofa watching TV. You can,
Right.
But
which we should point out, we had a conference call, a Zoom call this week or out, whatever it was on. And Lucky's one of the participants in the call, and all of a sudden he gets up, just walks out. I'll be right back. And the next thing you know, he dials in from his phone. Where were you, Lucky?
I had to go to the bathroom. I had to go number 2.
He's on the toilet. He was on the toilet. He was muting at the appropriate times and unmuting when he needed to talk. So
I felt like I had to continue to be part of the conversation. So
now you could not have done that with your computer in most cases. So there's a benefit of smartphones.
That's right. That's
true.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Look, it got me thinking though. So of inventions, let's talk modern inventions, and maybe modern, maybe let's call it technology. And if we had to say, what's more important to world history from a technology standpoint, the invention of the TV, the radio, the computer, and we'll throw smartphone in there. What's
Smartphone
more
is separate.
I'm sorry?
So smartphone different than computer, or is
Different than computer.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
What's more important to moving the world forward?
I think it was the computer. I understand that the smartphone does things so much faster and blah blah blah, but I'm going to go with computer.
Yeah.
I'm going to be controversial here. Something that moved the world forward. Radio.
Yeah. Right.
Radio, like, again, people couldn't communicate in that way. That mass amount of communication basically started with the radio. So I and all these other things have built upon it. Now they've all changed and brought from a technology perspective, a ton of efficiencies, etc. But I think radio is the first thing, was that laid the groundwork for all these other communication and collaboration and whatever the kind of modes.
I think that's a compelling argument. I would have probably said the computer, like Mr. Fun, but you're right. I mean, they are basic. They are in some form or another. They are based. They're communications platforms, and if radio, telegraph, actually, if you go back further, but if they hadn't been invented, or the radio hadn't been invented, I'm not sure what we would have done. So I think that's a fair point. So, anywho, what else?
Okay, and then to close out my talk about tops topic, I wanted to bring this back again to see what we thought. Last week we mentioned like the worst places to fart, and we had a contest. We did a rotation, each taking turns picking, the worst place, and we evaluated. I gave myself the first place, so I didn't do the voting, but I thought I did pretty good because it's my topic. But anyway, I thought I'd give you guys another chance. Okay. So here's the topic, and we're going to take quick round robin. Mr. Fun, I'm going to let you go first this time. Things you say to your bros when you are drunk. You get the first pick.
I do
Mr.
a lot
Fun.
of that "I love you, man" thing. The drunker I get, the more I start sort of rubbing, like dry humping people's legs and giving them hugs. That's what I start to do.
Okay. I haven't been dry humped from you in a while, so I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that one. All right, Biff, you get the second pick. What do you got?
Well, Mr. Fun took the best. This was like Family Feud. He just gave the number
55,
one answer.
55 people.
I'm not sure what I would. I can't say it's a specific thing, but I like to think that we all think we become funnier when we're drunk, and we try to tell jokes or whatever to our two guys that we're with.
Okay, all right, we'll give you a generic laugh, laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got here's my pick. I'm gonna go. I got two of them. That girl is so hot. We're all fucked up, and the weight challenge ladies look better than they do. So that girl is hot, and then this one I see all like a lot of the 25-year-old guys doing this. Let's fucking go.
Get pumped up.
Like LFG.
Oh, like that's like a rally, like it's a rally.
Yeah. Like they do a shot, like let's fucking go.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Biff. Go ahead. You got it. You got it.
Well, I think that is something that you say to your it's like it's you challenge people to do shots, right?
That's
Which
right.
is something you wouldn't normally do necessarily. You're drunk. It's like, let's get drunker.
Let's do a
right?
shot.
Yeah, that's what you do. You get drunk.
Right, Biff, let's do a shot.
Well, the first
right,
one
Mr.
is I
Fun, you
grow
got two?
more self-conscious too. Am I sweating a lot? Am I sweating a lot? And I start making excuses. I start making excuses for my behavior. I'm really drunk. I start telling everybody that I'm drunk, which I never used to do. And what else? Gosh.
Am I? You got two. You said, "Am I sweating a lot?" and "Am I really drunk?"
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Biff. What do you got?
Oh, I just had one. You were
Sorry.
when Mr. Fun was talking. Oh shoot, you go, Luck. I'll try to think of it again.
I saw this. And Mr. Fun, you and I have had this conversation numerous times. What if we just bought a bar?
Yeah.
We said that, like we're all banged up and having a good time.
Yes.
We need to buy a bar. So that's
Yeah.
fun. Okay.
I had one and the train has left the station. I don't know what it is.
All right.
anymore,
Let me
so
fill
I
it
don't know.
in. Mr. Fun, you think about it. I got a couple other good ones. Dude, we should start a
That's one.
podcast.
That's right. Oh, I know what I was going to say. It would be don't laugh at Mr. Fun's jokes.
It's the worst.
That's what I would say. That's what I would say. That's what I would say to everybody at that point.
I have two recurring nightmares that people don't laugh at my jokes, or I've planned and thrown a party and no one comes. Those are my two recurring nightmares.
So in our lives, Mr. Fun, we have done that.
I know.
Here are two more. This one is a more utilitarian one. You want to call the Uber or should I? And then the other one is her mom is a smoke show.
Who does that?
Jeez. Who does that? Hello, this isn't Parents Weekend, Lucky. And,
I was at Parents Weekend this weekend. I was like, her mom is a smoke show.
All right.
His mom is a smoke show.
Before we dig the hole any deeper, Lucky, let's just you can. I will see not winning this one. I would say that. I think Mr. Fun held his own for having no time to do the topic.
No,
Hey,
he did good.
Can I
he did very well.
share a riddle with you? This one's thought-provoking, or whatever it's called. What can you put in a bucket that will make it weigh less?
A bucket that can make it weigh less. It's
air? No.
Ready? A hole.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you put a hole in the bucket.
No. Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah. Well, that would be after it drains out of the hole.
Yeah.
But it would still be lighter if it was a hole in the
Yeah,
bucket.
it would. All things being equal, when you take something out of something and throw it away, it would be lighter.
Hey, did you
So
guys
it's
hear
very
that
good, Mr. Fun.
Sweden elected a new prime minister, and he was formerly the CEO of IKEA. He's now busy assembling his cabinet. You did?
Saw that one coming.
Yeah. They're big
We're
tariffs
in
again.
the blur of the last 2 weeks.
darn
I
it.
think I heard you say that one to me at some
Yeah,
point.
I believe that is
Okay,
also one he
all
did share with a. He tried it on. That's
I
good though.
know.
I like how you try them on. You try them out. So good. Do you have any, Mr. Fun? We really are at the end of the podcast. Hard to believe. Do you have a risque joke?
Where do lesbians in Alaska go for fun? A Klondike bar. A Klondike bar. You want to hear one that your wives won't like? They'll want to ban it. What's the difference between and weed? If you smell it from across the room, it's good weed.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Come on.
All right. How's the second chapter of the Great Weight Loss of 2025 going?
I've drank a lot of beer the last 2 weeks, but I've been cutting back on the food. So I'm doing all right. I also am My exercise, I don't golf
Yeah.
and stuff like you guys, but I have been doing a lot of yard work. I think yard work is my new thing. I have a problem though. Like I'm no longer into sex. I'm into food. Like I'm thinking about putting mirrors on the ceiling of my kitchen just so I can watch myself eat.
Come on, that's no bueno.
So, hey, Lucky, if they want to, if anybody wants to write to us and complain about Mr. Fun's second joke,
Yeah, definitely.
how would they do
If
that?
you see us, please don't stop me. I'm not gonna. I don't have any defense for the jokes.
I know, I know.
but if
I
you
might
want-
actually have to
I think they appeal to
bleep the
certain
word
people.
out.
I
It's
think
just
that type of joke appeal.
they mostly not the women. Okay, that's the challenge.
I
We do
know.
have lady listeners, so you should start thinking of jokes that are completely inappropriate.
I have
towards
one for
men.
you, Biff. Do you want it? All right.
Okay.
Let's see. How much semen does Biff have? A buttload.
Oh, stop! What is wrong with you?
I'm glad he used you, not me.
Jeez. So
that's what made that joke funny.
To go off on a tangent, so I'm hunting around on watching YouTube on my TV. There was a whole special on submarines on YouTube, like what it's like to live on a submarine for 40 to 60 or 90 days. And one sub in the UK last year, they stayed 201 days underwater, right?
Wow.
And so you learn about it, right? You learn about how do they produce the air and they clean the water and they do everything, right? But one thing that was interesting to me is that until recently, submarines ran on an 18-hour, when you're underwater because you can't see the daylight, they ran on an 18-hour clock. Had you heard? You're shaking your head. Have you heard this?
No,
so they ran They ran a 6-hour shift and then 12 hours off, and that's how they regulated the day. Was 18-hour days, which was I found to be interesting. They're switching back to 24-hour days, but they were doing it on 18-hour days because it was the best way to manage the number of crew that you had.
Okay.
So I found that.
But they were. Yeah, but okay. So according to them, they were working for fewer days than they were actually under.
Right. Well, I think you probably lose track of the days is the other part of it too, right? You go 6 hours. It doesn't at that point. Somebody is keeping track, but it wasn't.
We transitioned from semen to submarines. Is that what just happened? Okay.
Yes, I segued out of the joke.
I just wanted to make sure
something that was a bit more tolerant. So anyway,
but talk about 2023 at gmail.com if you were asking that.
Perfect. And Mr. Fun, just anything. No jokes about me, please. Anything.
Don't make about me either. I don't want to be that guy.
Oh, what do you call a really smart dinosaur? A thesaurus. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Dad jokes. He's gone between dad jokes and dirty jokes with regularity here.
What's in it? Are you ever going to go to the improv, Mr. Fun?
So the class is, I don't know. It's a whole story, but soon. I mean, I'm on the waiting list or something. I got to talk to Mrs. Fun. She signed me up.
Oh, come on.
But I might do open mic. There's an open mic, near where I live. So I might give it a shot.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, but I thought I could go and get my confidence up if I do it, and then let you know when I'm ready to unveil myself.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that'd be good. So, we will look forward to it if you do that. Remember, everybody, we are on all the major podcast platforms. We are on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, forward, do anything. Rent an airplane, put a banner behind it, tell them about Talk About, and we will endeavor to keep doing fun things for everybody and making you laugh, making you think, and all that good stuff, and even blushing, I suppose, after some of Mr. Fun's
jokes. Go right
jokes,
into the outro.
Go
go right into it, Beth.
Anyways.
You do it.
Wait, we're gonna go right.
Yeah,
that's it. I should just go right into the. Go right. Well, let me. I end every week. Again, we're week 144, 145, or something like that. I always like to I like to say until next time, goodbye. But we'll go right into the outro, which is sort of our bonus time, so to speak. Now the music's come back on, which is always a nice touch. Rockfish playing Chesapeake Time. He's going back down to Florida by the way, in a couple weeks, I guess, or less than 2 weeks.
Pitcher migrating.
He's migrating like the geese.
Mhm.
That's what Rockfish do, apparently. So he's heading down there. So we are looking forward to continuing to play his music and hear from him more as he and Mrs. R listen to the podcast and laugh. We believe they do. It takes cocktails for them to laugh, but I think that it helps nonetheless. So, but
Anybody
this
a
is
fan
the
of
outro.
Anybody a fan of the apple fritter?
An apple fritter? Where'd that come from?
Anybody a fan? I had an apple fritter today at the. I went to the farm, and they were selling.
What's an apple fritter? Is it like a turnover?
No, it's like pieces of apple, just basically with breading on it, fried, and with some powdered sugar on it.
I'm not sure
You've
I've
never
ever
had that. Oh my gosh,
think-
you got to get you some.
Did you like the McDonald's apple pies? Did
Yes.
you just like those?
Yeah,
Do they make those anymore?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
That's good.
They
So,
used to have
anyways,
the box. The box they would keep them in to keep them hot, and they'd come out in the little red container.
Okay. So with this, Lucky, I'm going to have a bet with you here.
Okay.
I'm going to start to do the outro. And the bet is, can Mr. Fun keep his mouth shut during the
Once
time
you start.
I do the outro?
So not now. Like
Once
I
I
can talk as much
start.
as I want right now.
He's going to filibuster you. Be careful.
Yeah, he's going to filibuster. Okay. So I should just jump right into it. I want to thank everybody once again for listening to the podcast, and that they should join us again next week when we do it all again, where we talk about everything, anything, and quite frankly, we'll talk about it all. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Until
Mr. Fun? Oh, look at that. He's giving me the silent treatment. I like that.
we're in trouble.
All right. Anyways, until we do it again next week, let me just say goodbye.
That was really
guys.
fun. Thank you,
Bye.
guys.